Hello students, welcome again with a new chapter named Judiciary. Now in this chapter we will study about the judicial system of India. Now recall the previous chapter of civics in which we have read about the chapter is Parliament, in which we have read about the two organs of the government. These two organs were, yes, they are the legislature makes the laws, and the second one was executive. What is the role of executive? It implements the laws. Now we are going to read about the third organ of the parliament or the Indian government, that is the judiciary. Now who resolves the government disputes? Who resolves the disputes between the citizens? Who resolves the disputes between the levels of the government? If there is a conflict between one level of the government with another level of the government, yes, it is the judiciary which solves the disputes. That means the judiciary is system of courts. If we have to solve our problems, then we have to go and take the help of the courts. So what is judiciary? Judiciary is the system of courts. Now let us understand what is the role of judiciary. Role of judiciary, there are three major roles which we are going to study, that is dispute resolution, judicial review, and upholding the law and enforcing fundamental rights. Now let us understand firstly the dispute resolution. Now see, whenever there is a dispute, the courts intervene by providing the solutions. The disputes can be between the citizens, can be between the citizen and the government, can be between the two state government, and it can be between the central government and the state government. So the major role of judiciary is to solve the problems between all these. Clear? Then the second function is judicial review. Now the judiciary, it has the power to review the laws passed by the union government and the state legislature, the union legislature or the state legislature. Now if the fundamental rights are encroached, are violated by any of the law, then it is the duty of the judicial system to make that law null or void, यानी उसे अमान्य बता दिया जाएगा. उस लॉ को क्या बताया जाएगा? अमान्य. It will be declared as null and void. ठीक है? Now next is upholding the law and enforcing fundamental rights. Now see, upholding the law means, now let us understand the meaning of upholding the law and enforcing the fundamental rights. Now anyone can approach the court if they feel their fundamental rights are violated by the government. Now here the court means the Supreme Court or the High Court, because for the encroachment of fundamental rights, two courts are for the solution of encroachment of fundamental rights. Two courts are responsible. They are High Court or the Supreme Court. ठीक है ना? So let us understand this particular role with an example. An example is given in your book about the Paschim Banga Mazdoor Samiti versus the West Bengal. Now recall an example of class 7 in which Hakim Sheikh, a labor who got badly hurt by falling from the train. Now when he hurt badly, as he was a poor mazdoor, so he was taken to the government hospital. There he didn't get the appropriate treatment. So the laborers, they went from one hospital to another government hospital for the better treatment. But in none of the government hospitals they got the treatment. So at last they have to approach to a private hospital where they got the treatment done. Clear? Now, but as it was a private hospital, so the treatment cost him a lot. It cost him in lakhs of rupees. And as he was a poor laborer, he was not able to pay for the treatment. Then what happened? Then the Mazdoor Union, the Labor Samiti, they all went to the court to appeal against the cost of treatment. Then after the hearing in the court, a verdict came out that the mazdoor, the laborer, will get the compensation from the government. Now why this verdict came? Because the treatment which he was supposed to get comes under the fundamental right, that is right to life. ठीक है ना? And that is why we go to court for the safeguarding of our fundamental rights. So here it is the court who safeguarded the fundamental right of that mazdoor. So I think from this example, this role of the court is very clear, that is upholding the law and enforcing the fundamental rights. Clear to everyone? Now let us understand our next topic, that is what is independent judiciary. Now see, the judges of the courts, they are not under the influence. Now not under the influence means not under the control. Their verdict, their power of giving their judgment is not influenced by any rich person, any powerful person, any politician, and not even by the government itself. Clear? Now how this judiciary is made independent? For making the judiciary independent, the judges of the Supreme Court or the High Court, they are appointed by President in consultation with the Prime Minister and the Chief Justice of the India. So this is how their appointment is made free from any elections. Clear? And now the Supreme Court, the judges of the Supreme Court or the judges of the High Court, they are appointed through a set procedure. And they cannot be removed from their office. That is, their removal is just as the removal of a president. As you know, the president is removed by impeachment. In the same procedure, the judges, to remove the judges of Supreme Court and High Court is difficult. They are removed only through impeachment. Now is that clear? Now see, in this topic we understand the structure of courts in India. Now I have made a pyramid here, and through this pyramid the structure of court will be clear to you. Now this is the base. In the base, that is the lowest level, it comprises the district courts or the subordinate courts. There is the middle level, it comprises of the High Court, and at the apex level, that is the top level, it comprises the Supreme Court. Now let us understand from the district courts. Now if we want to have the decisions, then you will go to the district courts. There are many districts in a town, there are many districts in a state, so that is why the base of the pyramid is broad, and the broad base is given to the district courts because their number is large. Clear? Then comes the High Court. The High Court is the highest court of the state, and as you know, the number of high courts are less in the country. Why the number of high courts are less in the country? Because they are found only in the capitals, and at present there are 25 high courts in the state. And the highest level next to it is the Supreme Court, that is the apex level, and there is only one Supreme Court in the country. Now we must also know that all these courts are interconnected. Now let us see how these courts are interconnected. There are two systems which connects the court. One is the integrated system of the courts, and one is the appellate system. Now integrated court system of the courts runs from top to bottom. That means there is one Supreme Court, and the decisions of the Supreme Court are binded by all the courts. So this integrated system runs from top to bottom. Then there is another system known as the appellate system, which runs from bottom to top. That means if any person is not satisfied with the decision of the district courts, then he may go to the High Court, and if it is not satisfied with the decision of the High Court, he may go and file a case in the Supreme Court. Clear? So by these two systems, the courts are interconnected with each other. Clear?